Hey, hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about 8 steps to success with small habits. So what if I told you that you could succeed with small habits, just little tweaks to your day? You know, it really doesn't have to be something big. You can implement small habits into your life and be on your way to success. So after trying and failing so many times to create the new, more positive habits that you crave, is it any wonder by now that you're probably a little gun shy about the process? Hi, Erin. Good afternoon. Good to see you. So yeah, it is. I mean, the truth is most of the time when we attempt to form new habits, we fail, simply because most of the time we've tried to bite off more than we can chew. So if we take small habits and we do small habits instead, you can approach your life in a new way by taking charge in tiny bite-sized pieces, just little chunks, right? Meaning that that way not only is change possible, but so is the ability to become the person that you always knew that you could be. So I have 8 tips to help you create those tiny little habits. The first one, don't try to change the world overnight. Start with one new habit and go from there. I'm the type of person that I like get this big picture and I see, okay, I want to do all these things, boom, boom, boom. And you know what? Sometimes it's just too much. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Good morning. It's just too much. And I have learned if I just stick with one thing and work on that and turn that into a habit and then move on to the next one and work on that, turn that into a habit, I get a lot farther. So it's just, a thought. Number 2, make a commitment. So not every habit is created equal, and some are going to take longer to embed in your mind than others. So, one thing though is true. The longer you perform the same activity day after day after day, the more success you're going to have in creating that habit. So decide right now that you're going to give this new habit at least 3 to 4 weeks to give it a proper start. Number 3, link the habit to something that already works. So if you already have a successful habit in place, ask yourself what small thing you can attach to that habit. So for instance, you might already be brushing your teeth every day. I hope so. So how hard would it be to add flossing to that routine? So you're just adding one more step, right? You already have a successful habit, so then it's one more step. So number 4, keep it small. Hi, Florence. Oh, you're so sweet. She says, thank you for your experience. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. So number 4, keep it small. Knowing that most habit forming fails because you're trying to do too much too soon. So then make it a point to keep the changes small. Many habits have a much higher rate of success than trying to create a big change. So, this is me. This was, I don't know how many months ago now, 4 months ago, I told myself I was going to get on the treadmill every day. I'm terrible at this. I mean, up until now, I've been terrible at this because I get on it and I do great for a couple of weeks. And then I don't know, I really struggled with boredom, really, being on the treadmill, being bored. I figured out how to take my iPad with me and actually watch shows, and that helps. But what I did when I started though is I started it small. I told myself I can do anything for 30 minutes. 30 minutes out of my day is not even hardly any time. So I can do anything, and that's just for 30 minutes I can do that. And so that's what I would tell myself even when I didn't want to do it. Hey, 30 minutes, don't break the chain. You've been doing it every day now, so don't stop. And now I'm up to a lot longer times and I'm still going, but I still tell myself, that a minimum 30 minutes. So I might do 50 minutes or an hour, which is mostly what I'm doing now. But then there are days like yesterday when I just really didn't have the time. And I said, no, I'm going to at least get my 30 minutes in. And so, that way I keep going, right? Number 5, have a disaster plan in place. So knowing that things are going to go wrong from the start, because things always do somehow, there's always monkey wrenches thrown in, right? So if you know that, then you can be ready when they do go wrong. So you can't go jogging today because it's raining. Well, that's okay because you have a different workout in place as plan B. So know that if you're going out jogging, if that's what your little tiny goal is, have an alternative if you can't do it, or if you're traveling or whatever. I'm going to have to know what I'm going to do if I'm traveling and I don't get on the treadmill. So far, that hasn't been a problem with this coronavirus, but hey. Number 6, grab a friend. One way to stay on track, especially when you're building habits, is to use your network. So have an accountability partner, or use social media to keep you honest. Post every day on social media. I got it done. I did my 30 minutes, or whatever it is, right? Number 7, reward yourself. Celebrate every milestone with a reward. Something that makes sense, that will encourage you to keep going when you're struggling or when you're flagging. Obviously, it wouldn't be a good thing to reward myself with sugar after I got off the treadmill, but find something that makes sense, right? Number 8, redefine yourself. So accept that this is the new you. That's really important, is to say, to embed that in your mind, that this is now me. I'm not the person that has a hard time exercising. I'm not the person that has a hard time getting on the treadmill. I'm the treadmill queen. That's me. That's who I am. That's what you have to redefine yourself. Now it's actually pretty powerful, right? Because it's all up here. It's what you think. It's what you believe. Those are the things that are going to happen. And so the habits that you're building are going to change who you are. They are, because you're building habits to make yourself better, right? So embrace that new identity. So whenever you're looking to change a behavior, jumping headlong into a major goal with both feet can sometimes be too much. It might even be a waste of time, because we all know this, and I don't know why we keep doing it. But when you make a big resolution for massive sweeping habit change, it typically doesn't work. Now, it might work for a few people, and it might work in some instances, but I really think for most of us, it really doesn't work the way we would hope so, right? People I know I actually know people who talk about how sugar is the deadly poison, and then the next time I see them, they're stuffing a donut in their face. And I'm not judging anybody. I have the same issue. My issue is popcorn. But hey, big change is scary, and we avoid it. And so with all the creativity and energy we can muster, typically we'll avoid it, right? So making that change sounds like a good idea when we're making those impassioned vows to ourselves, when we're like, oh, I need to do this and I'm going to make it work. It sounds like a great idea, but once the real world hits, the part of our brain that actually does the things doesn't want anything to do with it. So I have Patty. Good morning, Patty from Hawaii. Thanks for being here. So yeah, our brain doesn't want anything to do with it, right? And so instead, if you make tiny incremental changes until they're part of your muscle memory, then you can start small and you can attain big results. And then that's also the secret to these small habits, because they are small and daily progress that you make seems insignificant. And you're only going to see the return that it has on your life over time, because it's small and insignificant, and it takes time for you to see the results. And you have to stick to those habits until your life gets better, right? But that's part of it too, is doing it for the long haul, and doing it like for at least 3, 4, or 5 weeks to get started. But then when your life starts getting better, and when that happens, you're going to keep going, not because you have to, but because you want to. Now it's a habit. Now it's easier to do. And now you can do it because you want to, not because you have to, right? So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. What kinds of small habits have you implemented into your life? How did they go for you? What kind of deals, really good or bad, what kinds of things have you experienced when trying to implement new habits? I would love to hear your thoughts. So please get down in the comments and share your thoughts with us. I would love to hear your stories. I want to thank you guys. Let's see, we have Patty and Florence and Sarah and Aaron live with us. Thank you for being live. And anyone else who might be live who just didn't comment, and anyone who's watching the replay, I appreciate you. So, hey, go out there, have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.